Hey guys, I'm Aaron Gade, and I want to go over this video is called Five Ways Your Project Scope May Have a Creep. So, scope creep is something that we discuss all the time in this industry, project management especially. I've been an entrepreneur for about 20 years, on and off here or there, but for the most part of 20 years, I've been an entrepreneur. And one thing that you notice is scope creep is everywhere. And the thing that we don't really discuss or don't really talk about is the fact that it always has an origin. It didn't just all of a sudden appear out of nowhere. It came from somewhere. So if you have scope creep, or if you're dealing with it, or you're constantly dealing with it, it has an origin. It came from somewhere. Somebody made a decision and didn't put you in the keep you in the loop. So I want to go over five quick ways that you really can see scope creep is in the midst here. Your project scopes are definitely going to have creep. So you want to start with your marketing department. That is probably because your marketing and sales departments are like angry cousins. They hang out with each other and they talk to each other and they're always kind of in cahoots, but it may not be with the same motives that you have, especially when you're dealing with scope creep, project scope creep. The unfair part about that is even though you didn't come up with it, the requirements for the project, you're still responsible for it. And so, therefore, the marketing department, if you consistently are seeing different issues with scope creep, you want to start there. You want to look there. Next place is sales. Because what is sales notorious for? Even amongst consumers, you hear it all the time. They sold me on one thing and I got something else. So transparency cannot always be the main priority in the sales department. They kind of say things one way or the other, very similar to the marketing department. Sometimes they are saying things to gain your interest. And so, therefore, the sales department may sell something that is not in the project manager's best interest. It's to help make the sale. So you want to look there. Product development is another good place for you, agile project managers, that you want to look at and see. You may be causing me scope creep on a regular basis. You're the creep in my project's scope. You always want to be looking, especially in your product development, the different phases of product development. And that is one of the major ways where you can see scope creep, things that have come in that I'm not really responsible for, but now I'm responsible for. So you definitely want to look at your product development department, because more than likely it's a department that's doing R&D and so forth and so on, to see, am I going to have some requirements changing here on a regular basis? This is a really unknown one that people don't really realize. But customer support causes a whole lot of scope creep. Why? Because there's what is called the feedback loop there. So when they hear from consumers consistently a problem over and over, the thing that they are trained to do is go and report that. And when they report it, that means that your scope, your project scopes are going to change to meet with what the consumer wants, what people will pay for. And so, therefore, a lot of times you're going to find yourself dealing with scope creep from customer support. So, if you're not paying attention to your CRMs, you're not paying attention to the things that are bothering customers, you're going to find out that there's that creep is right there in customer support. And another one that we don't pay a whole lot of attention to is finance. Finance is kind of on our side until it's not. So the budgets become very unclear where the money's going and where the money's coming from. We start to don't realize that scope creep can come in there. So if you have a stakeholder that all of a sudden decides this really isn't that important, that budget can get cut very quickly. And so you have to make sure that you're aware of where the money is going. If you're not aware of where the money is going, you're going to make yourself subject to lots and lots of scope creep. So you want to be looking for where your projects have creeps. All right, this is that 5-minute video for you guys, and I will talk to you soon.